e-commerce optimization, design development. We basically help our clients make money online, help them facilitate sales, and improve customer loyalty. So you have long-term customers.
That's great. And a lot of people who are in the e-com space, especially, we're living in a post-pandemic era, it kind of feels like everybody has started a business or a side business. And sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't hit. And you might be lucky enough to be in a position where your side hustle or your business or venture that you've had, maybe with an e-commerce and a brand, a consumer good product or, a lifestyle or anything like that, um, blows up. And then what happens? How do you continue the growth? How do you make this from, okay, this could, just be nice extra money to, I want to replace my income to plus, 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 and we want to end up in the millions in the 7 and 8 figure systems. You've done it all. I know that, working from small to growing to large companies as well. And the biggest thing people need to understand about marketing for e-commerce, especially if you're using the Shopify platform, is how the platform is natively meant to work. I know you deal with a lot of customers and clients on that side as well. How often do you see the number one problem being they don't understand how Shopify is meant to operate? It's not just like a regular website, and sometimes they just think that you can just run it like it's a regular website.
Yeah, it's crazy, the amount of functionality that Shopify offers and the limited knowledge that a lot of my clients have is, is very interesting to discover, mostly because Shopify is meant to have a lot of it. It's meant to, full scale your whole operation, whether it's marketing, third party inventory management, all the way to store customizations. You have so many options. So if you're using them to your advantage, and as well as Shopify intended you to use those tools, you're set up for success at that point. But again, it's making sure that everything is connected. The tool is only as good as you set it up to be. If you just place it and not use it, then obviously it's not going to work. So optimizing these things, whether you're working with different social media platforms, different management CSM platforms, whatever the case is, as long as you're on top of it and you know what you're doing, you're definitely on your way to growth.
Yeah, Shopify is definitely the front runner in the e-com space, at least for most people. I know there's some custom stuff like that you can build out, but this is not a sponsored video by Shopify. Shopify, pay me if you want me to talk about you. I would love that. I'm sure Viktoriya would too. Let's cut a check. But while we're on the subject, before we dive into the marketing strategies, which is going to happen in a minute, I don't want to forget some of the other players in here. Who would you say is Shopify's competitor? Like, if it's not Shopify, who would you find most people are using? I'm hearing Wix, which is, I'm like, just no. I think Wix is making a concerted effort. They're trying to do a lot of things in terms of integrated email marketing, integrated e-commerce, integrated web platform, hosting platform, agency platform. Same thing with Squarespace. They also have a marketplace as well as a e-commerce version of it. So there are multiple different ways to have e-commerce available on your website, but by far the most robust in terms of features and benefits for you, the client, is going to be Shopify at this point, at least until you get to a point where you might want to go to a fully custom headless system and build it out to your heart's content. But for most people in most places, Shopify is going to be the best. Okay, enough on Shopify. Let's talk about best practices for e-commerce, website for marketing. I think it all comes down. There's a few things, Vic, we're going to talk about that are going to be most important. But overall, I think you want to be findable. The goal is always growth. If it's not growth, then I don't know what you're doing in marketing. The whole purpose of marketing is to grow your business, or whether it's through awareness or whether it's through sales. But for this context, we're talking specifically sale growth. That's it. And For that, the number one thing I would suggest is always going to be SEO, making sure that you are findable and making sure that I guess the number one thing might even be your product page optimization.
Yeah. Yeah, that's making sure that all the right information is available at the right time and at the right place.
Yeah, I guess that's like the asterisk. If you don't have a good product, if you don't have a good product page, if it's not optimized properly, then everything else you do is most likely going to be in vain, or it's going to be a throttled response or result. Just because you can put lipstick on a pig doesn't mean that it's going to be, prom king or prom queen.
Yeah.
So number one, always consider that. We'll talk more about that as we get to it. But SEO. SEO, the goal is to get your product page among the top 10 results on Google, and that's kind of what everyone wants. It's very hard to do. Um, Now, there are some ways that you can invest in SEO, performing keyword research. We have more videos on our YouTube channel talking about how to do that. Making sure that your keywords on your page, your URL, your product description, your blog, optimizing your website structure and creating good user experience. How do you help customers have good user experience on your website?
Multiple ways, making sure that all the pages are findable and that they have the correct call to action, the correct headlines. So whether you're using specific keywords that relate to your customers in
Yep.
terms of, what they're feeling at the moment or what the benefits are for them to buy your product, as well as, making sure that the products are findable in terms of categories, collections, they're relatable. But going further, it's really showing them what it would be like when they actually purchase your. So that is
Sell the lifestyle,
exactly
not just the items.
exactly.
Yeah, it's the mundane administrative management and organization of your inventory and how you categorize your products. It sounds very boring. It's not sexy at all, but that's like the nitty gritty of how these, search engines are going to be able to find you and understand your categories and understand your product pages and be able to serve it to the right people
Yeah.
without you having to spend tons and tons of money on pay-per-click or any type of ads that you might run as well. You also want to consider, building backlinks from other reputable websites. Again, if you check out our last lives from this year alone, you'll see that we've talked about this a few times with Daniela from Findable Digital Marketing, as well as a keyword-driven FAQ section on your website. So it's not an e-commerce website, but we added a FAQ section to one of our sales landing pages for one of our niches that's very specific about the process and what would happen. The increase in traffic and how much Google allows us to now show up on top results is astronomical. Add keywords in your add a FAQ section no matter what, and then make sure it's optimized as well for SEO. This is going to help you guys greatly express why you're uniquely different. What are the core benefits to the product that you're trying to serve to people? And if someone has a question in your niche or area, answer the question in an FAQ on your website. People will be finding your website for the answer to their question, but then they'll also see all the other products that you can upsell and cross-sell to them, which we'll talk about in a few moments. So first thing out of the gate, SEO, we got to make sure that you do it. Make sure that you have your optimized product page, but also make sure you have your SEO locked in.
And one thing I want to add, the rule of thumb for when we do SEO for e-commerce websites specifically is you want to have one H1 tag on the product page or on any page, one H2 tag, and the rest are H3 tags. So that's a little tip.
You heard it here first. The second thing we want to talk about is running influencer campaigns or UGC or affiliate marketing. 80% of marketers find influencer marketing very effective. As you probably know, if you've been on TikTok or Instagram, even now on LinkedIn, we're seeing user-generated content or affiliated content where people are pushing stuff that they have experience using. And of course, you can do that yourself and offer a discount code for them for doing it for you, or cash, or the product for free, whatever it might be. But you are tapping into a completely different audience whenever you do that. So you might have core audience, your core demographic of people that are helping you, that are purchasing from you, that are, ambassadors for you, that, they tell their friends about it. But that's only one subset. And you might have a completely different subset by using a specific influencer. Sometimes we use the word influencer, we're thinking only of the biggest names. You're not going to get Charlie D'Amelio. She's not going to, sell your cakes or your men's boots, whatever it is.
Via TikTok dance?
Yeah, via TikTok dance. So you might as well find somebody who's in your niche, who has a larger following, who maybe is looking to do this already, or you can put it out there that you're looking to do some content through a survey on your website or whatever it might be. People that have already purchased from you, they'll feel honored to be a quote unquote ambassador or evangelist for your product and be able to create some great stuff while using it, and they get some free stuff out of it, and you get some great content out of it, as well as affiliate marketing. It can be very beneficial depending on the type of product that you're associated with. But it helps you reach that new and different audience and kind of cross-pollinate the audience and see, oh, not only do we find this segment to be valuable to our business, we've now found an auxiliary or secondary, tertiary audience that can help us. So find some creative people to work with. They'll make some great content for you that can help your sales as well. You guys don't do any UGC stuff, or?
No, not directly, but a lot of my clients, they do have affiliate programs.
Mhm.
They have creators that work with them and influencers, and the impact that it has it's so big and it's so positive because people trust other people.
Yes.
People don't trust brands. People trust other people and their experience. Brands can say whatever they want, but when you're authentic, when you're true and as an influencer, as a creator, you have much more power over influence. So, when you create that very niche, direct group of people that you speak to, you're able to sell to them a lot easier and have a much lower rate of investment.
100%. And we want people to get the most value out of an experience. So if you can showcase the lifestyle and how it could actually integrate in their life already right now, that's going to help them a quicker decision, or go through your pipeline a lot sooner, or be more primed for the purchase or decision step. So you want to make sure that you're considering that, and don't just go at it from the straight ahead creative standpoint where, which is what we're going to talk about next, PPC. But, I just want to go through and make Instagram posts, and how come no one's buying from me? Well, maybe you want to showcase how this product lives and breathes in the regular world through other who can tap into their audience and their following as well. Okay, pay-per-click campaigns. I know you work with some people who have done this before. You've seen some good and some bad results. Everyone has. There's a difference between, me running an ad myself when I didn't know anything versus hiring an agency or hiring a consultant who does that specifically. In my case, we hired somebody on our team who is certified to run campaigns. There's a big difference when you are leveraging the information that you have based off your target audience and based off of your custom audience, lookalike audiences, to kind of help leverage, a promotion or a campaign, or elevate sales for a certain season, like the holidays that are coming up right now. What do you see inside of PPC and SEO, and Shopify, and integrations between sales, and it actually helps them between, having an ad versus not having an ad?
The relation could be different based on a number of things. Could be budget. So how big is your budget that you're actually implementing into these paid ads? And then also, how good is your strategy in terms of, how good's your content? Are you having the right reach? Do you have the right audience to actually convert? As well as what your product is, right? So if you have a product that converts well, that resonates with a lot of people, then obviously this PPC method would work really well for you. However, it's not as sustainable as it would be trying to gather more organic reach and more organic results. mostly because, like I said, unless you have a major budget that you can run with consistently, it's very hard to do long term. But it does build up momentum in the moment. However, I see a lot of organic content performing better in
Mm-hmm.
terms of, like we just talked about, whether it's creators or influencers, creating very organic and very relatable content so that you can
For sure.
actually see yourself using the product versus just being sold to.
Yeah.
Customers are too smart for that these days.
100%.
No
An
one's-
ad can be good.
Yeah.
You do also have to then consider the complete cost per customer acquisition. Like, how much is it going to cost me to gain an actual, not just a lead, but a customer? And I guess you would have to average that out
Yeah.
and see if it's worth it based on your average um, cart or purchase order. What's that average? Because if it's costing you $20 to acquire a customer, but your average purchase or average purchase on your site is $22.50, yikes! I don't know how you're going to pay your overhead or whatever.
Going out of business.
You're going out of business. Maybe it's time to either up your price, find a different way. And I'll take a moment right here as we only have 12 minutes left in this live. I told you guys it goes really fast. You can't do all of these things. You have to pick which ones are most aligned with your overall marketing strategy, content strategy. Trying to do everything on here, unless you have a full-fledged team, and if you do, you're probably not listening to this live. But if you want to try to do all of this, you're going to need so much help and so much resource. There's no way that there's a cost benefit to you if you're at this stage. But if you're looking for growth in sales, pick one or two of these things and focus on them for at least 6 months, and then evaluate the results. How much time and money is it costing me to produce great relationships with creators, or to upsell, or to hire a consultant to come in and help me, and then make a decision as you want to continue. All of your marketing efforts are going to be a longer term relationship. So you might as well get comfortable and start to do 6 months at a time, or maybe even 3, but I would say 6 months, especially if you do the SEO one. It just takes time to build that reputation and people to see you multiple times. Okay, so PPC ads, predominantly, Facebook, Google. I would say TikTok now is huge. There are so many TikTok ads. Everybody and their mother seems to have some random product that they're the UGC about. Some of them hit really well if you know what they're doing. A lot of them on TikTok, I gotta say, are not that good. You really have to vet the creator that you are signing up with to really make sure it's a really good. I think that will help as well. But having those ads run, even like video ads on YouTube, but I don't know, especially the average price of the dollar cost average of your product there.
Yeah, I feel like even the way that they create the content now, like no one wants to see hashtag ad under their video. No one wants to know that they're being sold to.
Yeah.
Like that one creator, Emily, so I don't remember her last name, the one that does all of the recipes.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
So,
the she did the fish one.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So she had very subtle ads. Like you wouldn't know that she's sponsored by a lot of these brands or a lot of these companies.
Yeah.
But it's so intricate that you're gonna go out and buy that type of sauce, or you're gonna buy this pan. It's very subtle, but you're still being sold to even though you don't know. So.
Yeah, there's a lot to say in terms of, because it's new and people are like, oh, I want to jump in while it's hot. Again, Shopify is not sponsoring this, but they do have a program right now for creators to basically their own platform for UGC.
Yeah.
But this is, because it's hot, everyone floods, and so the immediate quality of this marketing tactic goes way down, and then people will pull off and we'll try to find the best ones, and the quality will start to slowly rise again. We're in that first portion where the quality of a lot of these ads are very bad because everyone sees dollar signs and everyone's just trying to do it willy-nilly. Let me just jump in and go as much as I can because it's easy money. Okay, we're almost done here, guys. Let's talk about upselling and cross-selling your products. What's the difference?
So upselling, you're basically looking to add additional products to your cart. Whether you're selling, let's say, sunglasses, you want to add some sort of complementary product, I don't know, like a case or like a spray.
Yep.
And then cross-selling is complementary products, right? So whether you want to cross-sell something that would go as a benefit to your current product,
Yeah.
you can add this onto your product page, you can add this into your cart page, but the whole point of both of these is to increase your average order value, right? So to increase your basket size, to make sure that you're hitting those numbers profitable within your transactions.
Yeah, you don't want to only have single item baskets, no matter what business you're in. You want to have multiple items that you can offer people, and almost like if you start going through your whole marketing strategy, and you start solving the problem of what are we solving for this customer, you have to come at it on a multi-pronged approach, and through that you'll see, oh, there's actually multiple products that are required to this this problem. And then when someone comes to your website, and looking for this handmade good, now you can show them the other stuff made with the same material. If it's, a leather good, show them the other goods that you make. If you want to upsell them, get them with a buy one get one. That those are immediate ways for the impulsive and for those who can't turn down the deal because of the value, that you're going to immediately increase your average order size just because you offered it to them. And I think a lot of that also comes in with your automation and how you leverage that as well. And we're going to talk about that next. I know we're running out of time here, but let's talk about email marketing, because I think it's huge.
Yeah.
I'm a huge proponent of owning your audience. Uh, if something were to happen to your Facebook or your Instagram account, there goes access to your audience. So dollar for dollar, email marketing is one of the most cost effective ways to talk with your audience. And the latest stats show 87% of marketers use email marketing to distribute content. We use it ourselves. We see great open rates right now. We're still pretty new at it. But in terms of automating your connection points, helping to upsell or cross promote, there are so many ways that you can use email marketing. What are some of the things that you're seeing with some of the clients you're working with?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of tactics that are used is campaigns.
Yep.
So whether they send out, 4 to 5 campaigns per month, if they have a large catalog, highlighting some major holidays, promotions that they have going on, some ideas. Another thing is using flows and triggers. So if you have a flow for abandoned cart, you can always retarget those people. If you have a flow for abandoned browsing, you can retarget those customers. But mostly it's the control that the customer has over receiving these types of notifications. Obviously segueing into SMS marketing. So, a lot of big brands like Gymshark, for example, they're testing out their different pinpoints and interactions to make sure that you are receiving a more personalized experience and that you have some sort of and just really taking control of what type of products are coming to your phone.
Yeah, so the best way to think about it is, instead of waiting for somebody to open up Instagram or Facebook or TikTok and for them to see by chance if an algorithm will deliver your post or your ad or your message to your audience, email allows you to have a more intimate relationship with your customers, and it goes directly to their email box. And as long as you respect them, they won't subscribe to you, and as long as you add value, they won't unsubscribe to you. So you can do things like the post-purchase follow-up, asking them how they're doing. You can do a survey, asking them for some feedback about this product. If they're invested, or depending on what the product type is, they might want to do a survey on that. The abandoned cart, like you spoke about, the reviews, we'd love to hear what you think. That's a great way to garner reviews, is directly through email, because you know specifically what they purchased and when they purchased it. So you can time it so that they've had a chance to use it, maybe wear it, and then you can ask them and say, hey, how is it going? Is this something that you want to give a feedback on, we'd love to have the feedback. How important are reviews when people are making decisions on like Shopify or e-com platforms and they see that user generated not content but reviews, there's something that is helping them make a decision? Do people really care, or do they think it's fake?
Yeah, I feel over 90% of customers actually look into the reviews, especially if it's a high ticket item. So high ticket items could be anywhere, depending on what your budget is, could be anywhere $200 plus.
A Givenchy bag,
baby. Yeah. So depending on what your budget is, you gotta make sure that what you're getting is exactly what you see on the screen, and the best way to validate that in that moment would be through reviews. Now there are circumstances where reviews might not be the best case. If you're selling fresh food online, sometimes it's really hard to navigate what
these oranges were horrible.
Yeah,
they were not fresh.
Yeah, very specific and very critical customer reviews could actually hurt the business. So you have to be very cautious in that case. However, most of the time reviews definitely help facilitate the sale, and if you can reward your customers for giving a review, then you obviously build loyalty and you care about their feedback, right? So you're showing them, thank you for purchasing, here's your time to tell us what you think and how we can make it better.
100%. We have 2 minutes left. I want to make sure we go back to that. I know we started with it, but I want to end with it as well. It's your whole marketing effort's only going to be as good as your website, your organization of the content, if you have lots of products, and how good your product pages are to convert. And you want to make sure that you are leveraging that information that you know, and you can watch some of our videos that we've posted on this before. Of course, you can always reach out to Viktoriya. She does this for a living. What is it that is the most important to me? Do I want to be somebody who is making decisions from the standpoint of the owner and the business owner, or do I want to hire who knows what I should be doing and can help me along the way? You want to optimize your product pages, okay? Like, I don't know how else to say it, but that's why you're losing sales.
Yeah.
That's why things are dropping off. That's why you can't seem to capture those missing opportunities. It's because your product page is not showing people exactly why they need this in their life. It's not overcoming their objections. And if you've done your research and you've been able to identify the challenges and opportunities, you can develop, a test to see which one is working the best and start to literally narrow in on the right people to convert on this page, and the results are going to be fantastic.
Yeah. So something like A/B testing, best UX UI strategies, making sure that all the information is there right at that moment.
Awesome. Viktoriya, thank you again for being here. I know we only got 1 minute left. Check her out at finerpointscommerce.com. That's finerpointscommerce.com. Viktoriya, where else can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at finerpointsecom.
I thought you were going to give your personal for a second. I'm like, it's not that kind of live. Of course, check us out at creativepartner.ca. You're already at the YouTube channel, so check out the other content. We've been releasing a live consistently every month for the past 15 months, and we have 2 blogs every single month. So we talk about e-commerce and customer journey on our blog this past week. Go check it out. Thank you guys so much for being here, and peace out.